What's fascinating is that those platform shifts naturally come with legal, regulatory, and compliance shifts also. So during that emergence phase, we'll start to see general guiding concepts and values be established. So think things like responsible AI principles. Then when we move towards that adoption phase, we start to get more general operating structures and definitions be established. So think things like the AI risk management framework by the U.S. National Institute of Standards and Technology, or NIST for short. And then as we move into expansion, that's when we start to see very specific laws and regulations come onto the scene, such as what we're starting to see with the EU AI Act, and then of course any alongside government enforcement that comes with that. And then by the time we enter the ubiquity phase, that's when we start to see certification bodies turn those laws and regulations and principles into finite standards that can be audited. So think things like your ISO and SOC type certifications and audits. The takeaway is that when it comes to technology and AI especially, those shifts are occurring simultaneously, and with AI, they're occurring very, very quickly. Meaning when you think about harnessing AI in your market research strategies, there's certain things that should be top of mind. Questions like, how is my company's data used? Is it used to train the large language model, or is it used to fine tune it? Questions like what consents are in place for whoever data is being used in the AI product? What security measures are in place on the underlying infrastructure? Is that platform built on a public or a private closed environment? How is that company thinking about mitigating against unfair or biased inputs and outputs, like Will mentioned? What level of control is given to the user? What level of human oversight is involved? What large language model is actually being leveraged in the AI tool? And how was that large language model built on what and whose data? Those are all very complex questions that we found cannot exist in a vacuum, right? They need the input of various teams across our companies to get a cross-functional perspective. So we've got our researchers, you've got executives looking at strategic input and overall ROI. You've got product teams and engineers like on Nick's team. They're subject matter experts at the underlying technology who are thinking about how to create prompts that generate the best outputs and how does that technology fit into the overall tech stack of our companies. And right now, all countries seem to be following general concepts of responsible AI principles, things like transparency, mitigating against harmful biases, et cetera. We're starting to see individual jurisdictional areas like the European Union come up with their own specific laws. And I suspect over the course of the next year, we'll see other countries do as well. So to be determined whether those AI specific laws are the same or not. But remember that you always are going to have privacy laws that will also apply, especially in market research, to the extent any personal information is involved. And those can vary country by country, right? So the European Union GDPR versus the state level United States laws that we see versus like the Privacy Protection Act over in China. So it's a twofold answer, varies a little bit on the privacy front, to be determined on the AI front. Right now, everybody's kind of generally following the same principles.